Before the video starts, I want to apologize a bit because it's a little messy, but currently I'm just like jumping from early shifts to night shifts to day shifts and everything, so it's kinda wild out here and I'm a bit tired and a bit overworked. So, well, it's a bit messy, but as I said in the video, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. I try to clear up everything that wasn't cleared up in the video, so have fun watching, and again, a little sorry about that. Morning guys, Mon here. Today we are going to take a look at, well, the Stormbear Druid once again, and I want to show two different variations of this character, how these perform, and in the end, overall go into very much detail of how to gear this character in the endgame. This first example here is just a map clear at 1000 corruption, and what I do think is one of the better or one of the best setups to currently build the character for well corruption pushing and generally for pushing in the endgame. It's a very tanky approach. It can still have lots of damage. You could build a tank here, but this is a variant that already is tanky enough to do pretty much anything in the game, up to like 2,000-3,000 corruption even. And for the most part, you don't really need that much, but I did want to showcase it in a higher tier of endgame because the character already has very good gear, so it would be kind of ingenuine to show it like 400 corruption because, well, you don't really have the gear that I am running when you're just reaching like 400 or 500 corruption. Like, this is very min-maxed gear, but I wanted to showcase what the build is capable of, and you can see like it's just going through like these 1000 corruption dungeons without really noticing the enemies all that much. There were some instances of where I did lose a lot of health, but generally, I'm not really caring here a whole lot. I'm just running through, spamming my stuff, not caring about positioning, about enemies. I'm just going through, so yeah, it's kinda good, I'd say. And after this clear, we will do some change in gear. We'll do one arena to fill out some gaps in the skill trees that will come from the change. And then we will do one normal Aberroth kill. There is an Aberroth kill on my channel as well, but I just want to demonstrate some damage and gearing so that you can see the difference and different approaches of gear. So, yeah. This one I need to replace, no, not replace, but I was in the process of changing the enchantment on this one. I'm hoping for a tier 7 spell damage, and maybe we're getting it here. But yeah, this was, well, corruption 1000 area, so you've seen it was quite chill. Now we need to replace the weapon and change some notes around, because replacing the weapon here does remove not the points we do want to have removed when we change the weapons, so I did, why not here, not exactly sure. Then we take out these. Actually, we do need 1, 2, 3, wait, 2, 3, 4, I think. We'll see in a second. Then we need 1 point here as well from, I believe, that. Do we get it here? Maybe? And then now we need to get the level back, so we do one arena quickly. I had one prepared somewhere. Let me check. Okay, I had it there. Again, 1000 corruption arena. And this is without a lot of range, so with all the targeting range, this would be even better. Because we right now prepare for the Aberroth kill, so I did take out the range, but you can see enemies just die, so even in this setup, the damage is like really good. This also is very strong for farming favor. Like, I'm nearly at cap here, but it's pretty much impossible for me to just use my favor because I just farm it back up so quickly. Just try to like get some like use my favor, and whenever I was like, okay, after my prophecies, I was like back at like where I started or close to that, or sometimes even like 50k more or something. So kind of stupid. But yeah. Now we put back the points into the single target nodes. We need this here. We need that. We this. Stationary tornadoes. We want all the whirlpool stuff, and we want this node. Now the second setup is the super high damage focused setup. I could change around other stuff as well, like the idols, but the other thing we do change is the blessing, so that you can see as well some differences in where you want to allocate your nodes, where you can make changes to be, well, more damage oriented or more defense oriented, and generally what you can do with the build and what kind of options you do have. Also, one thing about the other setup with the Cleaver Solution is that my Cleaver Solution currently is only 2 LP, but has a tier 7 and a tier 6 mod, but the tier 6 armor shred currently just clashes with my amulet, because it does have armor shred as well, so currently I'm like not using really optimized mods here, because the mods take a lot of value off of each other, because you generally don't really want more than one armor shred mod. Just very much overkill and doesn't hold a lot of value. Here, it is very noticeable that when running the Jura rings, you generally do want to time your movement ability at the start of these fights, so that we can then utilize the damage well with the triple stats of the ring, because currently I'm running, again, 2 1LP rings only, one with lightning damage, one with Bitumen, so these are fairly easy to farm on 2 LP even, so you could even get a lot better stats here. Was actually not a very good start, but it's fine. Yeah, we get the break. Nice. So this was a normal Aberroth on the high DPS gear, and like as you can see, like there's still a lot of room, like human tier, and this one didn't hit the cast speed effect, so actually there's still a lot of room. You could run a higher DPS focus body, but I do have the double tier 7 on here, so it's hardly getting much better. But yeah, this was a normal Aberroth kill, and well, as you can see, you can farm normal Aberroth with this very smoothly. But yeah, with that shown, let's take a look at the actual gear. For the actual gear, you have, well, tons of options. For the high DPS focused build, we do kind of want the Hand of Judgment, because we can get 32 attunement on these, which is just insane. And the Juras are just very good if you can dish out all the DPS you need within the 4 seconds window, as you've seen on the Aberroth. And these are just extremely strong for like very high burst. And we have stuff like Epoch's Innovation, which I do use on all my setups, because it's the only really damage focused belt we can use. You can use like defensive oriented belts, like the we have it, the brew, we have it everywhere. The Brewmaster's buckle actually is a very cool defensive oriented build with a lot of vitality and endurance and potion charge and everything. and also gives you a lot more endurance threshold, which is like very, very strong defensive-wise. But the Eloquos innovation I do like very much, because it just gives us damage, and I do like damage. Also, it does make our potions better, which also is very good. But then again, for the gloves, to get back to the first point, damage-wise, you just want the Hand of Judgment, then the rings, and there are some body armor options you do have to do more damage. The cleaver, the body armor. No. Like the Camus Cache is one very strong variant that has strength and elemental damage, and then you have like the Ursul's Pride, which gives attunement and strength, and mana regeneration, which is nice. And then we have the static shell with the more lightning damage against shocked enemies, which is very strong. So generally there are a lot of options, but Metal of the Pale Ox just is so good due to the defenses and also giving strength and movement speed, and it's just a very, very nice body armor that is very difficult to pass on. Like the other very strong defensive body armor is Wall of Nothing, but I don't think it can currently get to how strong the Mantle of the Pale Ox really is. So that's kind of difficult to get by. But it's a very, very good one. So yeah, you kind of do want of the Pale Ox eventually. Yeah, Call of the Mountain also is doable because of the 10 all attributes can be very strong. Then for the weapons, the Mad Alchemist Ladle and the Tempest Maw kind of is the go-to setup. It just provides a lot of utility, a lot of damage, just very, very strong pieces. And with crit multiplier, lightning damage, cast speed, being the 3 most important stats on these, just giving lots of stuff. I did test around with Cleaver Solution a bit lately, and I do kind of like it. It just makes the Twisted Heart of Icarus a lot more noticeable. You just can hold higher endurance, not higher endurance, but higher award amounts, because here you just drop back to like 0 fairly quickly and get maximum of like 1.5k, sometimes 2k, but generally it doesn't like feel like crazy good with the ward. So the Heart of Icarus value goes down quite a bit, but with the Cleaver Solution we can like retain a much higher ward value and not like get so bad or so low early on, which here is not really noticeable. Actually, why? I do think it's because I'm not running the regeneration blessing right now. With the regeneration blessing it's fucking much better, but generally with the Tempest Maw you should get to like 1.5k, 2k and then drop low fairly quickly. And with the Cleaver Solution you get to like 2k to 3k and then go fairly quickly to down to like 1.5k and then slowly decaying further from there. So that's a very, very interesting and I do feel like very cool alternative. Also because it does give a lot of cast speed, because it makes your intelligence be as high as your strength, which at 82 is quite a bit. And then Mad Alchemist later converts this intelligence into cast speed. So basically, the Cleaver Solution has like 40 cast speed on it, which is very good. But yeah, very, very cool setup here. For the more tanky approach with the red rings, obviously you get more tanky, and then the helmet I would recommend to just get something in this direction. You always want the Aspia's Lament as the base, because it's just straight up the best base, and then you just want attunement, strength, or like increased damage and attunement, with then the beer suffix and health regen, or a different defensive suffix like increase health, added health, something that direction. For the gloves, you do want the sealed tier 1, maybe tier 2, but I wouldn't go higher, of current health loss per second, together with, well, tier 7 attunement and then cast speed. And the suffixes health, resistance you need, something in that direction, or the beer mod. The beer mod also is very good, but I haven't found gloves yet that are strong enough to use the beer mod. I just haven't found good gloves here. But what you can do is actually very interesting, because the beer mod does not have any interesting mods on it. Just increase health regen per point of strength and increase melee damage. So you do want this either on tier 1 or any tier below 5, or like you shouldn't waste points into this because it just doesn't do much. Except if you get it to tier 6 or 7. Like tier 6 is nice, tier 7 is nice, very good. But anything below does not matter, so tier 1 is completely sufficient here. And could even swap places with the current health mod, so you could basically decide if you do want either a sealed suffix with the last beer or a sealed prefix with the current health lost per second. So this is fairly interesting, and while providing stats on the gloves, because you could like ditch the cast speed and go for one more suffix instead. So you have some idea there, or you have some options there what you can do. The boats don't really have much room for innovation. You basically just want Foot of the Mountains because the boots just are too good. And then you want attunement and cooldown recovery speed. If you do have 3LP and hit strength or movement speed as well, that's very good as well. I do really would want these with movement speed, but I sadly didn't hit. So we have to run these right now. But generally just attunement and cooldown recovery are your most important stat-wise generally, and then yeah, just get one more stat if you do have 3LP ones. The amulet basically is, well, set in stone. You do want an Eye of Storms rolled as good as humanly possible, and then want lightning damage. Lightning penetration is okay, but actually not very good. Armor shred if you don't have a different source for that, but I would focus on just increased lightning damage actually. I didn't think it was that good, but it really is pretty damn good. So lightning damage is just pretty much your best bet. Mana, very good as well. Probably on par with lightning damage, maybe even better depending on your other stats, but other than that. Crit multiplier I do think as well. Yeah, crit multiplier as well, very strong here. So these basically are your three options: lightning damage, crit multiplier, and mana. The three best mods basically on the amulet. But if you truly want to see what the exactly best mod is, check out my damage calculator in the description. I explained in a Reddit post here, which shows all the functions you have and how it works and everything. So feel free to experiment around, because there truly are a lot of options, especially with the idols. Currently I'm running an idol setup with, actually we lost our tier 7 opportunity set. Like we're running one idol with summon Thorn Totems and spell damage, and then the rest is just health and damage. Wow, I bit my tongue. Health and damage basically. And then small idols that fix resistances, give health, and here pretty much the exact same. For the blessings, as I said, I've showed the options. Like the biggest options you do have in the Gone blessing, because you can pick mana, you can pick lightning damage, you can pick health regen, you could pick lightning shred as well, but shred really isn't that good on the character. So yeah, you do have quite a bit of options, but yeah, this is basically what I wanted to show. For these skills, there is not a lot of change compared to the beginner version, so I won't go over all of this here. And the passive tree, I've done some rerouting at some points and changed some stuff, like taking out the strength and going to Ursa strength and stuff like that. So there are a lot of options here you can choose from. Here I would really recommend to just experiment around and see what fits your playstyle. Do you want more strength for more armor? Do you want more attunement? Do you want more crit multiplier for damage? Like there's a lot of options you can choose from, and I would really say just test around, see what fits your style. Do you want the flat health? Do you want the increased health? It all depends on how your current gear looks. So yeah, very much up to you, and I hope you just experiment around, have a good time, and see what works best to you. This is pretty much everything I wanted to show and talk about. So if you have, well, any questions still, because I do think there isn't really a good way of saying this character needs these items exactly, because there's just so many options you have that it really, everybody should check out what he really wants out of the build. So at this point I say, if you have anything you want to say, questions, ideas, whatever, feel free to drop them down in the comments. If this was helpful, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I say thanks for watching and see you in the next one.